Hello guys, Peaches here, and if you're wondering why there's not been a video in a week, no! That's why. Because Windows decided to have a bug saying that my hard drive had no memory. Which is fun, because that means it wouldn't let me record anything. So thanks Microsoft for having a dumb bug with your operating system that needs to be fixed. Anyway, today's video in Vrchat is going to be a tier list video on Teirland. And the tier list we're going to be doing today is full English breakfast. Because I'm British, of course I'm going to do a tier list on full English breakfast. And if you don't know what a tier list is, it's a list that has F, which is the worst, to S, which ES is the best tier. So you basically rank which ones are good and which ones are crap. So let's get over to the tier list and essentially put what the good ones in and what the bad ones are. I'll just put my mirror there so you can see the tier list and me. Oh no, we reset it. I reset it because I wasn't happy with it previously in this recording, so I just re-recorded it. What is the first one? Buttered fried bread. Isn't really an English thing. That's more than on an American one. We don't have fried bread on our English breakfast that much. It is a thing though, so I'm going to say S tier, because if you do fried bread right, it's good shit. So I'm going to say S. So now it's up there. What's the next one? I don't even know what that is. Something. Oh, it's potatoes. Duh. You don't really like potatoes on the thing, unless if it's hash browns. So I'm going to put B tier. If it's potatoes on a English breakfast, I personally like hash browns. Yes. Speaking of hash browns, yes. Yes, and yes. Let's go in S tier. Oh. Oh. This has to go S tier. Come on. You can't beat a good Guinness. Yes, S tier definitely. If that's a cup of tea, that looks really sad. That looks a really sad cup of tea if that's a cup of tea. It almost looks like it's gone off. I'm gonna say S tier because a good cup of tea goes nice with an English breakfast. And you know us British people with tea. A suggestive bottle of ketchup. Honestly, A tier. Personally, I like brown sauce with my English breakfast, but ketchup is really nice as well. Fried mushrooms. I would say A tier. I don't mind them. I just apologise on going into that, but that's it so far. I don't mind mushrooms, but it's not the big thing I would have on an English breakfast myself. Water. Water. The most disappointing drink you can have with an English breakfast. So that's going to go a D tier. Because you're having a nice fried breakfast, why would you have water? Come on. Grilled tomato. It's another one I'm half and half on. It depends on how it's cooked. If it's been cooked right and burnt around the edges, then it's nice. If it's not been cooked fully, it's a bit crap. So I'm gonna say this might go on C tier because depends on how it's done, really. It's not, and it isn't my favourite thing on a full English breakfast as well. So yeah, that goes there. A cider. Honestly, cider's probably going to go B or C. No, C. Because cider has one problem. It's really nice with an English breakfast, but it repeats on you afterwards. So it doesn't really work. It's not a drink that really works with it. So I'm afraid it's going to have to go C. Which means it's around the middle of the list. It's not the worst, but it's not the best thing to have. Poached eggs. I'm going to say A tier, because I do like poached eggs. Get my board there. I do like poached eggs, but it's not the main thing I would have. So I'm going to put that A. So that's going up there. Because poached eggs are nice, but it doesn't beat a fried egg. Oh, a beer. I'm going to put that S. No, I'll put that A. Because a beer does go pretty well with full English breakfast, but it's not the first drink I would have. I'd rather have a Guinness or a cup of tea or a coffee with a full English breakfast. Sausages, that's going to go S. Yeah, you can't have an English breakfast without some sausages. That has to go on top. You just have to have sausages with it. Oh, and another one. Bacon. And of course, that's going to go on the top. You just have to have it with full English breakfast. Orange juice. What, am you 5? No, no orange juice. Orange juice will be bad. Like, cider repeats on you. But orange juice, oh hell no. I've not seen anyone have an English breakfast with orange juice. That's probably why, because that one will repeat on you like hell. It's like, if you have orange juice, you're either a nutcase, or you don't know a good drink. Beans! Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes for baked beans. I know baked beans might be weird to have on a full English breakfast to Americans, because Americans don't have baked beans like us British people do. Americans like their baked beans as a side with barbecues. But us Brits, we have our baked beans on anything. English breakfast, on their own, with toast, with chips, basically any dish, well most dishes, will have baked beans. It's just one of those things, British people love our baked beans. On those. Oh, steak cooked chips. Them other chips I usually see on a big breakfast, British English breakfast. You can't beat steak cut chips. Them are like the nice fluffy inside ones that are really crispy. And they're similar to beef dripping ones. I think those might be beef dripping, which means it's been cooked and then coated in beef dripping, which is beef fat, and then fried, which means you get really crispy on the outside and very fluffy on the inside. And honestly, they're the best chips. You just can't beat those. They're so good. Sparkling water. I'm gonna say same. As I've honestly never seen anyone have sparkling water. But I don't know. It might be good with it, it might be horrible. I've not seen anyone have sparkling water with a full English breakfast. But personally I think it'd probably be bad. Toast. I'm going to say A. So about the thing there. But you can see on the board through the recording anyway, so should be alright. Just checking it's all recording. Fried egg. Well, you know my opinions on fried egg. You know exactly where that's going. S. It's going on top. You just can't beat fried eggs. Oh. Double S. HP sauce, brown sauce. Yes. That is definitely a yes at the top. That's the best sauce to have with it. And all. This is local to where I am. I don't know if other places have it. Black pudding. And for you Americans, I don't know what black pudding is. It's essentially dried pig's blood that's made into a sausage and fried. It sounds disgusting, but it's really bloody nice. Like, if you're an American coming to the UK, you should try this. Because if it's done right and it's fried, I like it a little bit over fried so that it's crispy on the edges. Really bloody nice. So, I'm going to say A tier. Because not many places, some places do black pudding, some places don't. And personally, I do like black pudding. Like, I'm not going to say no black pudding if it offers black pudding. Chips, normal chips, or as we call them here, French fries. They're okay. They're not the best chips though. The best ones are those triple cook beef dripping ones, or steak cut chips. They're okay. I would say, you know what? B. They can go on B, because they're not terrible, but they're not the first chips I would offer. I would say apple juice. Apple juice isn't too bad with it, but it's definitely going to go in B. It's not a drink I would have, personally. Oh. Bacon. Bacon. Actually, I'm going to swap that bacon on the top. Because that's the good bacon, that's the back bacon, which is common here. And that's the nice stuff. The other bacon I'll accidentally put up the top is bacon rashers, so come here. So bacon rashers, I'm going to put that on the B. Or C, actually C. Don't see many places doing bacon rashers, so I'll put it down there. Because bacon rashers aren't that common, Most places will do back bacon. But bacon rashers are good if they're cooked properly. If they're cooked and nice and crispy, they're nice. But they're not my favourite. I would say my favourite's definitely back bacon. Oh, well, you know where this is going to go. S. Coffee. It has to be S. A good coffee with your English breakfast is always really nice. And it looks like we've completed it. So, let's have a look at our tier list. So you can see F, orange juice. Who in their right mind's going to have orange juice with their English breakfast? D, water. I haven't seen anyone have water before with it. C, which I'm in the middle of. They're okay, but we will repeat on you afterwards. So make you feel bloated and there. So cider, which will make you repeat on you. Sparkling water will repeat on you. And then two in the middle of bacon rashers. If they're cooked properly and crispy, they're nice. If they're not cooked properly, like McDonald's bacon, and we have in the UK, which is bacon rashers, it's more floppy than a used condom. Our UK bacon, if it's for crispy stuff, and then on the fence of streaky bacon, if it's cooked properly and crispy, it's nice. If it's not cooked properly and floppy, like McDonald's streaky bacon in the UK, which is a disappointment to even call it bacon, because it's more floppy than a piece of paper. So it's not the best bacon, it's horrible. And I think most people just throw their bacon in the bin. But if it's cooked properly and crispy, it's nice. Sparkling water, cider, they're going to repeat on you. Going to make you feel bloated and sick, so don't get those. Grilled tomato, it's good if it's done properly. If it's like proper grilled, like charcoal and like nice and hot, it's nice. But if it's not being cooked all the way through, it's rubbish. Potatoes, I think that is just normal potatoes. They're okay, but I'd rather have chips. Normal French fries, they're okay, but they're not the best chips. Apple juice, if you can't drink any alcohol or tea or coffee, then I guess you would have apple juice. Ketchup, I'm sorry, it's not the best sauce. As much as I don't mind ketchup, it has to be brown sauce with a full English breakfast. Ketchup is okay, but it's not the best one. Grilled, fried mushrooms, they're okay if they're done properly, but I'm not much a fan of them because they're usually quite slimy. Most of the restaurants I've been to are always, they've got a slimy texture to them, so I'm not a fan of those. Poached egg, they're nice, but it's not something I would have personally on an English breakfast. I'd rather have a fried egg. But poached eggs to me are more for stuff like eggs Benedict and that kind of stuff. It's not really a thing on an English breakfast to me, but if it had poached eggs on the menu, I would have it, if it's done properly. Nice old beer. Beer, I used to like it quite often, but it doesn't really taste as nice as I remember. I remember liking it quite often, but beer's not that nice anymore for me. And if they didn't have any tea or coffee or Guinness, then yeah, I would have a beer. but it's not my favourite drink. Toast. Of course, if he offered toast, I would have toast. That's why it's in A tier. Black pudding, of course, if he offered it, I would have black pudding. And black pudding's really delicious. So if he offered it, I would definitely have a few slices of that with my English breakfast. Fried toast. Yes. That is the ultimate toast of all toasts. I don't mind plain toast, but if you offer me fried toast with my English breakfast, yes please. That is the best toast. Hash browns. Yes, if you offer them. I do like hash browns on my English breakfast, if I can't get chips. Hash browns are basically the same as the fried triple cooked chips I like. They're basically like fried potato, and they're really nice and fluffy, so definitely hash browns. Guinness, come on, you cannot go wrong with a Guinness. Guinness is such a good drink. It just goes with most big dinners and breakfasts. So yes. Tea. I do like tea, because I'm British, but it depends on how it's been brewed. If you brewed it quite weak, then it's rubbish. But if it's brewed just right, I like it. If it's nice and hot and freshly done, and it's nice. But if it didn't offer Guinness, then of course I'd have a tea or coffee. Depends on my mood. If I fancy a coffee, I'll have a coffee. If I fancy a tea, I'll have a tea. I both like each drink equally. Sausages. You have to have sausages on an English breakfast. They're like the main thing that makes an English breakfast. Sausages. And the best ones I like are Cumberland, I can't say it properly, Cumberland sausages. None of the ones that's well seasoned and quite nice, and most restaurants use, so yes. Beans, of course, us British love beans, so beans has to go on there. Triple cooked chips, or sometimes they're called steak cooked chips. They're very similar. Yes, they're the best chips on any English breakfast or any dinner in the UK. If you have English breakfast, fish and chips from a restaurant or anything like that, it has to be those, because they're really crispy on the outside and very fluffy on the inside, and they're just right. They're just the best chips that you can get. Fried egg. You can't go wrong with a fried egg. A fried egg is just one of the staple things you have on an English breakfast, in my opinion, and it just works. Brown sauce, or on our one it's HP sauce, which is slightly different. Difference is HP sauce has a little bit more of the zingy kick to it than normal brown sauce. But it's still brown sauce, and brown sauce just makes an English breakfast really nice. As much as I don't mind ketchup, if I'm having an English breakfast from a restaurant, I'm having brown sauce. Back bacon, that is the king of all bacon. It's just the best bacon you can get here. Like, you get more bacon for one, and if it's cooked properly, it's like really gristly as well, and it's like all the gristle. I'm just getting hungry thinking about it. But I do like back bacon. And then at the end of S, which is best here, coffee. Yes. If I'm in the mood, I'll have a coffee or a tea. And then if you offer it, if I fancy one, I'll have a Guinness. But those are the top 3 drinks I would have with an English breakfast. Of course, that's my opinion. Some of these people might like orange juice with an English breakfast, which I don't know what's wrong with you if you like orange juice with your English breakfast. But yeah, that's just my opinion. So it's just been a little video. I am planning to do more Vrchat videos soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video.